When dealing with customers who don't pay or provide bad checks, firstly, document everything. Keep detailed records of all invoices, contracts, and communications. This documentation should include any and all attempts to contact the customer regarding payment. Secondly, contact the customer directly. Call or email the customer to remind them of the unpaid invoice. It's important to politely but firmly request payment. Consider offering a payment plan if the customer is experiencing financial difficulties, as this can facilitate a resolution. Thirdly, send a demand letter. If the customer does not respond to your initial contact, send a formal demand letter. This letter should clearly outline the amount owed and the potential consequences of non-payment, such as legal action. State a clear deadline for payment to create a sense of urgency. Fourthly, consider filing a small claims case. If the amount owed is relatively small, filing a small claims lawsuit may be a viable option. In small claims court, you can present your case to a judge and seek a judgment for the amount owed. Fifthly, explore the option of contacting a collection agency. If other methods fail to produce results, you can engage a collection agency to pursue the debt on your behalf. Be aware that using a collection agency may incur additional fees. Sixthly, consider blacklisting the customer. Share the customer's information with other businesses in your industry to prevent them from being hired elsewhere without fulfilling their financial obligations. Seventhly, if the customer is a business, you can report their non-payment to a credit bureau. This can negatively impact their creditworthiness, potentially making it difficult for them to secure loans or other financing in the future. Now, let's look at some real-world examples from others who have faced similar challenges. In one case, a landscaper had a client who owed money for several weeks. After repeated attempts to contact the client, they were blocked. The landscaper traced the client's address and found their business van parked outside another property. By showing up in person and politely requesting payment, the landscaper was able to get paid immediately. In another instance, a contractor hired a painter for a job and gave them a bad check. The painter noticed that the account was overdrawn and immediately contacted the contractor. The contractor repeatedly promised to deposit the funds but never did. The painter threatened to file a police report for fraud, which prompted the contractor to finally send a cashier's check for the full amount. Some further details about documentation include keeping organized records of all invoices, contracts, and communications related to the transaction. Ensure that all invoices clearly state the amount owed, the due date, and a detailed description of the goods or services provided. Contracts should be comprehensive and outline the terms of the agreement, including payment schedules and any penalties for late payment. Maintain a log of all communication attempts with the customer, including dates, times, and the content of each interaction. This documentation can serve as evidence in case of legal action. When contacting the customer, remain professional and courteous, even if you are frustrated. Clearly state the amount owed and the reason for the call or email. Listen to the customer's explanation for the non-payment and try to understand their perspective. Offer a payment plan or other alternative solutions to help them resolve the debt. Document all communication with the customer, including the date, time, and the content of the conversation. When drafting a demand letter, include the following information: the date of the letter, the customer's name and address, the amount owed, a detailed description of the goods or services provided, the original due date, a clear statement demanding payment, a deadline for payment, and the consequences of non-payment, such as legal action. Send the demand letter via certified mail with return receipt requested to ensure proof of delivery. Before filing a small claims case, research the small claims court procedures in your jurisdiction. Determine the maximum amount you can sue for in small claims court. Gather all relevant documentation, including invoices, contracts, and communication records. Complete the necessary court forms and pay the filing fee. Serve the defendant with a copy of the lawsuit. Prepare to present your case to a judge, including any evidence and witnesses you may have. When contacting a collection agency, research different agencies to find one that is reputable and experienced in collecting debts in your industry. Obtain a written agreement outlining the collection agency's fees and procedures. Provide the collection agency with all relevant documentation, including invoices, contracts, and communication records. Monitor the collection agency's progress and communicate with them regularly. Before blacklisting a customer, consider the potential legal implications. Ensure that you are not violating any privacy laws or engaging in defamation. Share the customer's information only with other businesses in your industry who have a legitimate need to know. Document the reasons for blacklisting the customer and the information you shared. When reporting a business customer's non-payment to a credit bureau, ensure that you comply with all applicable laws and regulations. Obtain the customer's consent before reporting their non-payment. Provide accurate and complete information to the credit bureau. Notify the customer that you have reported their non-payment to a credit bureau. Always prioritize clear communication, thorough documentation, and professional conduct when dealing with unpaid customers. It is also important to seek legal advice if you are unsure of your rights or obligations. Remember that preventing non-payment is often easier than collecting a debt. Implement strategies such as requiring upfront deposits, conducting credit checks on new customers, and setting clear payment terms. Regular communication with customers throughout the project can also help prevent misunderstandings and payment disputes. Keep in mind that building strong relationships with customers can foster trust and encourage timely payments. By following these steps and learning from the experiences of others, you can effectively manage unpaid invoices and protect your business from financial losses. If you have exhausted all other options and are still unable to collect the debt, consider consulting with an attorney to explore further legal remedies. An attorney can advise you on the best course of action based on your specific circumstances. The attorney can also help you navigate the legal process and represent you in court if necessary. Remember that pursuing legal action can be costly and time-consuming, so it is important to weigh the potential benefits against the costs. Some additional points to consider include offering early payment discounts. Consider offering a small discount to customers who pay their invoices early. This can incentivize prompt payment and improve your cash flow. Implement late payment penalties. Clearly state in your invoices and contracts that late payments will be subject to penalties, such as interest charges or late fees. This can discourage customers from delaying payment. Use electronic invoicing and payment systems. Electronic invoicing and payment systems can streamline the billing process and make it easier for customers to pay their invoices. These systems often offer features such as automatic payment reminders and online payment options. Obtain personal guarantees from business owners. If you are providing goods or services to a small business, consider obtaining a personal guarantee from the business owner. This will make the owner personally liable for the debt, which can increase the likelihood of payment. Consider using a factoring company. A factoring company will purchase your invoices at a discount and then collect the debt from your customers. This can provide you with immediate cash flow, but it will also reduce your profit margin. Regularly review your accounts receivable. Regularly review your accounts receivable to identify overdue invoices and take prompt action to collect them. This will help prevent debts from becoming too old and difficult to collect. Train your staff on effective collection techniques. Train your staff on how to communicate effectively with customers about overdue invoices and how to negotiate payment plans. This can improve your collection rate and reduce the need for more drastic measures. Stay up to date on relevant laws and regulations. Stay up to date on laws and regulations related to debt collection in your jurisdiction. This will help you avoid violating any laws and protect your business from legal liability. Remember that collecting debts can be a challenging and time-consuming process, but it is essential for the financial health of your business. By implementing effective collection strategies and seeking professional advice when needed, you can minimize your losses and protect your bottom line. When deciding whether to pursue legal action, consider the following factors: the amount of the debt, the likelihood of success, the cost of legal action, and the potential impact on your relationship with the customer. If the amount of the debt is small and the likelihood of success is low, it may not be worth pursuing legal action. However, If the amount of the debt is significant and you have a strong case, legal action may be necessary to protect your interests. The cost of legal action can vary depending on the complexity of the case and the fees charged by your attorney. Be sure to discuss the costs with your attorney upfront so you can make an informed decision. Pursuing legal action can damage your relationship with the customer, so consider whether this is a risk you are willing to take. If you have a long-standing relationship with the customer and you value their business, you may want to explore other options before resorting to legal action. Always be professional and respectful when communicating with customers, even when they are not paying their bills. Maintaining a positive relationship can sometimes lead to a resolution, even if it takes time. Remember that your reputation is important, so avoid any actions that could damage it. Do not harass or threaten customers, and do not disclose our debt to others. This can lead to legal liability and damage your reputation. Seek advice from other business owners or industry professionals. Talk to other business owners or industry professionals who have experience with debt collection. They may be able to offer valuable insights and advice. There are also many online resources and forums where you can find information and support. Consider joining a trade association or business organization. Trade associations and business organizations often provide resources and support for their members, including information on debt collection. They may also offer networking opportunities where you can connect with other business owners and learn from their experiences. Remember that debt collection is a marathon, not a sprint. It may take time and effort to collect the debt, but it is important to stay persistent and professional. By following these tips, you can increase your chances of success and protect your business from financial losses.